Candyman flesh and blood? I'm afraid not.
But he lives in the mirror.
You say his name 5 times, he's supposed to come.
Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. This is a movie podcast where we're talking sequels, and we do it in 2 parts. The first, an interview with an actor or someone involved that made the film worth watching, and the second, a discussion of the sequel, what they got right, what they got wrong, and how it could have been better. Hope you enjoyed last week's interview with an actor that this was in the middle of his career, but man, is he doing some exciting stuff now. He's playing Captain McNamara on Spider-Noir, the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man series. And he's also on the new Burbs on Peacock, starring Keke Palmer. He plays a very, very important character in it. But yeah, really cool story about his journey from Memphis, going out to San Francisco, a little Broadway, and then how he landed Pale Rider and with Eastwood. A really cool story about how just having sometimes your photo in the right place at the right time can get you an acting role. So if you haven't heard that, be sure to go back and check that out. And for this week, we're talking Candyman 2, or Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, Nolans, the Kingfisher, as I have written on my name, and where me and Jamie are recording in Riverside. Before I say anything else, or say something 5 times, which I don't know where that came into play, I got to introduce you to my partner in this sequel watching journey, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
I'm doing great, Doug. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Again, this is terrible, but this is like such nostalgia because I'm telling you, I had every VHS tape as a kid. I had this one. I had mostly sequels, like no joke. And I watched this one, and it's funny. I'm like going to watch it, and it was just before I recorded the intro for Randy's interview last week, and I'm like, oh my God, this came out in 95, and I'm like, so this came out in 95. This VHS is probably on my shelf in 96. I'm 10 watching this. But do you have any history with Candyman 2 at all?
Not at all. So
not at all. No
Candymans at all.
Oh.
Well,
okay.
I did watch Candyman, the original, the week before I watched this.
Okay.
Because I just felt like, you know what, it's probably one I probably should watch. So
Virginia Madsen?
Yes. Which, that was a good movie. You know, it was, I think I liked her role, I like how it went. I feel like whatever happened in the first one had nothing to do with this movie.
Well, I know. They had to jump from Chicago to New Orleans where he was killed.
But it ended with her being a killer.
She is. Well,
yeah, but she's not in this one.
She's not in this one, but she's the killer in the sense because nobody caught him.
Yeah, but we don't talk about what happened. Like what's going on with Virginia Madsen?
She's done. Old story.
So
she's in jail.
So the second Candyman has nothing to do with the first one.
None. He's going back home. He's like, man, I gotta skip out of Chicago. Okay. I gotta go back to Nolans. It's Mardi Gras. He's probably only there for a week.
Yeah, and he can blend in real easy. You know, you have all those like weirdos, right? So it's But okay, so I have a couple of questions about Candyman himself. Mm-hmm. So, one. It seems that he only comes out when you say the name 5 times, which 5 seems like a lot of times you got to say his name.
It's a lot.
A lot, right? I mean, I wonder where the 5, I think you were starting to say that. Like, where
There's nothing. There's no origin.
Nothing.
It was just the one time he said in the mirror, and that was it.
I feel like you get bored after the 3rd time. You're like, all right, fine. I'm going to say, it's like, that's the first thing, right?
What was real quick, what was Bloody Mary?
That was maybe twice or 3, maybe 3. I think 3 times, maybe.
Did you ever do that?
I might have once. I don't know. I might have once. I don't remember.
3 times.
Okay, 3 times. Okay, 3 seems like
That's quick, right?
A fair number. 5 is like overkill. Okay, but he comes out when you say his name 5 times. What happens if he's about to kill someone and now someone else says his name 5 times? Is he like, oh no, and he's got to quickly go to the next person?
He teleports.
That'd be good. So is that how it works? Or because what if 5 different people all over the world said his name 5 times? How does it cover that? Is he like Santa Claus? He's able
like
to
Santa.
get there.
He's gonna go everywhere.
That's 1. 2. So after he comes out of the mirror and he does his business and he kills, does he go back in the mirror? Because he doesn't come out again until someone calls him. Like how long, is there a time frame of all right, he only has 5 minutes out of the mirror and then he has to go back in there?
Yeah, no, we don't see how he ever goes back because we only see him summoned in the beginning of the right. She summons him, but the old guy, like that, I wish I would. You know, what would be really cool. Remember in Lost Boys, you got a real sense of like, oh my god, these vampires are a serious problem because of all the lost signs.
Right.
And it would be great in this one if we had something similar because it's like obviously he has art dedicated to him, so he's got a lot of fans.
He does, which I don't understand because most people think he's fake. So somehow they're able to draw exactly what he looks like, in the art. But he also comes quickly and kills immediately on some people, and the other ones he waits like a day or two.
Yeah. No, with our main character, he waited.
Well, that
every time it was like he wanted her to suffer, and again, she didn't do anything. That was more of like.
But even the guy in the beginning, he says it in class, and then he has a time to go to the bar. He does all these things like so.
I know that was wild.
Yeah, but then the cop, he comes like immediately, and and
the boyfriend and Paul, great character actor.
Oh, yeah.
Guy plays a great dick in so many movies.
Oh, he was the bad guy in Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah. Which that's a movie we got to cover. That's
yeah.
So, but I mean, is there rules to like how he appears and where he goes and how many times they got to say it? Because I mean, there were I think 3 different times that or maybe 4 times they say his name 5 times. So like, is he again? He kills and he's only out there for 10 minutes and then he gets sucked back in the mirror.
Well, he does come. If you think about it, you just mentioned it. When he say the name, he comes. The cop,
Yes.
when he says his name, he comes and kills him right away.
But that's what I mean. But after he kills him, okay, so let's start with the first guy. He kills.
Oh, you're saying where does he go? Does he just linger?
Where does he go in between? Does he like after he kills, he just goes back to the mirror and waiting for someone else?
He goes to Bourbon Street, has a grenade.
So so is he wandering around our world and just hearing it? Like he hears someone's like or is he like Beetlejuice? Like, Beetlejuice, and then he comes out.
Oh, so maybe he's chilling in like Mirrorland.
They don't really explain it. That's all I'm saying. How
about how he got his name? How about, again, we're thinking about the way people talked in like, it was the late 1800s, I believe, right?
Something like
I
that.
think something like that.
Yeah.
So the boy has like honey on his face. And the first thing is that, Candyman? And it's like, thank God he didn't say Honey Man. Not a very scary, even
I was going to say, not that scary.
That's scary. Honey Man.
What if there's
Honey Man.
That would be a completely different movie.
It would be. Yeah. That was like the XXX parody of it.
So let me ask you this: if there's no mirror and you just say Candyman 5 times, it doesn't work.
If there's no mirror, I guess there has to be a mirror, right?
I was gonna say, what if there's a guy at a baseball game who's selling candy? Candyman, he's walking around with candy. Will that summon him by accident?
Lady pocket mirror, watch out for pocket mirrors. But no, I think you're right. Like if you said it in the forest, I don't think it would come. Does a reflection work? I don't know. Water reflection?
It just I don't know. I just feel like I just want to know the rules and like where is he? Like is he a ghost? Is he like a real person that's coming out? Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like
I'm sure a horror sequel expert knows, or anybody else at Sequels Only. Let us know. There's not enough lore. You got to think like with Friday the 13th. There's so many different movies, or Halloween. There's so many that we're able to get like different rules, and something builds up. It's only 2 films. They are connected, but somehow they're not.
Wait, there's no more films after this one? They only made 2?
They did the remake. They never made a Candyman 3.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was going to say, is
Which
there
is kind of shocking because his stock was always big in horror, but 2 years after this is Final Destination, or 4 years maybe. But wouldn't you think like at that point, especially directed VHS was huge at that time, video stores, it's like, hey, you know what? How about we make another one? But they never did. Maybe he didn't want to.
How about make a prequel of how he became? I mean, even though we saw a clip of it, but like show his life and then show maybe his first few kills or something like that, like how he became Candyman. We saw it very quickly. They threw it in there. But I think that could have been a movie. So but it's not too late.
No, not too late. So Annie is played by an actress that was in a bunch of stuff, Kelly Rowan. Her career is like pretty extensive. She was on the OC for a while, 92 episodes, and a bunch of other roles over the years. But you know who got offered the role but turned it down? Tuesday Night. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's what IMDb.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
That's what the yes.
Oh wow.
From part 4, who took over for
Yeah. Weren't we going to get her? Well, weren't we?
I think we were maybe talking with her, but yeah, crazy, man. Like in that, and then another thing that was neat on here was in the movie, like a little homages that the writer probably put in there was Mrs. Tarrant. Her physician's name was Dr. Loomis.
Interesting.
Little nerdy things that people put in there.
You know who was supposed to play Candyman?
No way.
Don Rickles.
Morgan Freeman?
Don Rickles.
Could you imagine that?
Again, that would be a completely different movie.
Yeah, totally different.
Why'd you say Morgan Freeman? It has to be a black guy to be Candyman?
I was thinking. Well, he's a slave. I don't think Don Rickles was a slave in 1895.
He's Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, they were kind of slaves in the Holocaust.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but it would have been a different movie. It would have been a completely different movie. So, anyway.
Very different.
That was my little corny joke to start the show.
I like it. So let's start the show. So we open up with the MGM Lion, and what was pretty wild, this movie is exactly an hour and 35 minutes. 0 seconds. And we get Gramercy, like the polygram, like all these old ancient things that aren't around anymore, these studios. And then we get like the opening is like, again, we're filling in the audience, because I don't remember, since you just saw it, in Candyman, do they go a lot into the origins? Do they even mention his real name, like Daniel Robitaille? And
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think it was all. Again, even though I just watched it, I don't know if I was 100% paying attention. So I think it was a lot about, again, the lore of Candyman, and then you had what's her face, Virginia Madison, So and she was a nice distraction, So So no. It's funny. I didn't even know his name, and like after the movie, I'm still trying to connect the dots of like how Annie was connected or somehow. And when I asked ChatGPT, it said, "Oh, she's connected to Robert, whatever." I'm like, "Who's Robert?"
Daniel Robitaille.
Or Daniel Robitaille, whatever. Name. Yeah, I'm like, "Who's Daniel?" Like, I had no idea. So like,
they said it a bunch of times in it, but they said in the opening we get the old white guy who's like the Southern gentleman, like talking about the history of Candyman. And he's going into this story telling about.
But he wrote a book about Candyman who he believes is not real.
Yeah, what about a lore, a legend that people believe in?
Okay, but who's going to buy that? So this guy is writing.
I wrote that. I don't believe in this crap. Buy it.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would someone? It'd be one thing if this guy's like, I believe it's real. Here's my research, and I've done all this. Not like, he's not real, and I'm just going to talk about how not real he is.
So you know a bakery that the food sucks? Oh, these are the worst muffins. It's true. I wouldn't go to that place.
No. And was this a college course?
Huh?
What was he teaching, or what was he talking about? Like, who's he talking about?
He's just talking to a group of people that are probably people that are visiting. It was like all ghosts. It was like a bar or a library.
No, it wasn't even a bar. No, it definitely wasn't a bar, because he goes to the bar after. It was like it was almost like he was talking at a mall, and they had a bunch of like chairs just laid out, and just people were sitting out there.
People were actually just trying to relax. And
that's what it looked like.
Starts talking.
No one looked like they were interested. Like, they were just sitting there.
And they do mention like Virginia Madison's character was the murderer in the. I don't know if they mention it, or I was looking it up at that point. I don't think they did.
They might have. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think they would, because they went to the New Orleans setting, which was awesome, dude. I love that. I love the setting of this movie.
No, there's that. I mean, I think the scenery, is good. Like, it's the old fashioned like look to it. It has that New Orleans. It was cool. I just think some of the acting was awful, and I just first of all,
no.
You also don't. I don't know. I think the cop was awful. He was such an overactor.
Oh, he was in a bunch of stuff. Dude, I know he was in like this in the same year. His name is David Giannopoulos, because I'm like, man, he looks so familiar. Under Siege 2, he's the guy that's hooking up with the girl on the train and gets killed. And then the next 2 years later, he's in Air Force One.
What, as a villain again?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, when he's saying, Candyman, it was the most ridiculous scene. I mean, he was so overacting.
He was a little over the top.
Yeah, the brother was a little over the top,
Another guy known for being like kind of a goofy actor. He had some serious roles in his career, but
this is probably early in his career,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But I also don't think you see too much Candyman. Like, I feel like
that's the thing they do in most movies. Like you talked about recently, like Freddy Krueger, right? Like 15 minutes or 10 minutes on screen.
Yeah, but even when you do see him, you see him interacting. Like Candyman, he comes in, he does a kill and leaves. Like, it's quick.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like horrors back then. I don't like really horrors now, but like, I always thought this would be more scary. And I mean, it's not really scary. The scariest parts they have is everybody sneaks up on everybody in this movie. Everybody literally, like, there's be standing there and they turn around and someone's talking to them, like right behind them. You didn't see them. Yeah. There were like a bunch of those scenes of people just popping up and starting to, that was the jump scares to me. Like yeah. Scary. Candyman was not, I don't know. I feel like
it was scary when Paul was wanting to set the mood again and he was pouring the glasses of wine and he needed like a big tray to carry 2 glasses. Didn't even bring the bottle. 2 glasses and he held this ginormous tray with ropes on the end of it. And it's like the bulkiest thing.
The stains that would cause if you dropped it, the tray. Like, wouldn't it make more sense to bring the bottle and just pour it in the room?
Yeah. And did you notice like how, like, obviously we know that they're rich because the mom's house we see later in the movie, but like the house that they abandoned 13 years ago and the dad, I guess, died there or something, that was huge and still like gorgeous. And then her apartment, like early on, it seemed like it was small, but then in that scene when he has the wine, he's walking forever.
I know.
Through corridors.
Yeah. But I'm glad you said that. I mean, obviously we're jumping a little bit, but when they go back to that house, clearly it was a big and nice house. You're going to tell me that house is abandoned like that? And so where the other houses on the street have to deal with this house that no one's living in?
Sure, that scary house in the neighborhood that's bringing down the property value for everyone.
I mean, that's ridiculous because it was a big house, so it's in a neighborhood like that. So can you imagine, like, you all spend this money on his nice house and you got to deal with the squatters and whatever druggies that are living in that house.
And the fact that Paul we'll get back to the beginning in a second, but like he sees like a mattress on the ground, which means, hey, somebody's sleeping there, and he keeps walking and he sees a bird and he's like, oh, okay, it's probably the bird's bed.
Oh my God.
Like that's what he thought for a second. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the beginning with that guy. So he gives his lecture. We see the brother, Ethan Torrin, right? So played by William O'Leary. And he goes like, oh, my dad talked to you and he told you the Candyman was real and you told him it wasn't. So then he said it 5 times and he's died. I'm like, why do you have to say it? The urges of these people to just be like, I'm going to prove you're wrong. No.
Doesn't he take his book and throw it or something like that? Doesn't he have a copy of his book or something? Or?
He does, yeah. Remember, it's real shiny. And then later, that's like where we see Candyman in it. Like sort of reflection of it.
Yeah.
And that was insane. The fact that no matter what, people have to still say it to prove people wrong. And like, it really goes bad quickly.
But I mean, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the movie I just watched, but like all these murders, they think that Virginia Madison just killed them all. Is that what they think?
Yeah. Just like in this movie, which is crazy. They let Annie go. Like her boyfriend gets mutilated, like ripped to pieces in the apartment, just them two. Sure, they interview people, witnesses, nobody else around, but nothing. We know I'm shocked about, like the fact that the people involved in the situation, like the brother never said Candyman, or Paul never saw Candyman, but he, I guess, sees Candyman, right? Well, or is he invisible?
So that's what I was going to say. So see, that doesn't make sense because unless you're in the same room with someone that says it, then you see them because at the police station, she saw an invisible man. She didn't see anything.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm saying in the moment, and the people involved see him. That's what I'm saying.
So maybe if you're in the room with the person it should be like a Freddy Krueger thing, where if you're in a room with them and something happens, like only they see him. Like, so, like that, we need rules. If Candyman appears, Is it only to the person that sees him, or like, you know?
Because that'd have been cool, right? If she was like, when she came out and she's like, Paul, watch out. And he's like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
but
See, that would explain
would've
it
been
more.
neat.
That would have explained it a
bit.
little better. But I feel like they all see him. And so again, what are the rules? What are the rules of that?
Because the brother knew right away. Because he's like, no. And then he tries to run, and we'll get into that. So, yeah. So now we get the guy. He's at the bar. What's his name? Ethan follows him, starts like wailing on him. He gets his ass kicked.
Okay. I mean, I've been drunk and stupid at bars before. I would not want to go to that bar, because if you get out of hand, the bartender throws you through the window.
I know, right?
I mean, like, there's no, like, no breaking up a fight and like telling someone to leave. He literally threw a window.
I love the idea of that. Can you imagine, like, the next day you like wake up, you have like a gash on your forehead, and your people are trying to like, hey, dude, man, you got thrown through the window.
Well, maybe he's from like the Old West when they threw him through like the swinging doors.
I love that. That is so great. That and the fights of the Old West of just like a big dust pile and just fists popping out of everywhere, feet going.
Well, that's the Popeye fights when he fights Bluto. It's always like the smoke, and you just see arms and
yeah. So now Purcell, the old white guy, he goes in the bathroom. He goes to fix his wound, and then someone appears in the bathroom. And what's weird is it's like, all right, it's not Candyman, but the guy's staring at him like he knows that Candyman's going to come to get him. Like,
see, was he Candyman dressed as that guy?
Ooh.
And then when he turns around, that's not like does Candyman do that? Can, like, when he does appear,
can
like,
he shapeshift? Shape.
I mean, because that's what I thought. I'm thinking, like, because they made it, because he kind of popped up, like, again, like everybody else, he does like a little pop up. And
well, first he's on the other side of the swinging doors that somehow are going faster.
Yeah.
Like, they usually lose momentum when somebody leaves. After a while, we're a little bit faster, but then boom, right behind them.
That's what I mean. So I think like that was Candyman disguised as someone else. And then when he turned around, because otherwise, if he appeared right away, he was, right by the door. He had the guy had a chance to run out of there, before so now, not knowing that Candyman's there, turns around, Candyman appears. So I think he does a little disguise.
Yeah.
A switcheroo.
The old switcheroo. And then boom, dead, hook in the gut. And then we get a great title card. That was one of the best title cards in a while.
But they didn't explain, I mean, they explained everything about Candyman, but they didn't explain anything about the hook. Like, did he always have a hook?
Well, he had to fill it in because they cut his hand off.
Okay.
We saw that.
Oh, you can fill it in with a lot of things. You got a hook.
What? Show that he put the hook on?
Well, just
you need a hook scene.
Well, just like Jason finds his machete or whatever. Like, why a hook? And like, well, I guess that'd be part of his like prequel movie if they had it. Like, maybe he tried a fork first, and like that didn't work.
Didn't work. A spoon, trying to scoop eyeballs. That's all he could do.
And then he found the hook. Yeah. What is a hook like that for? Because it's pretty. I mean, what? And
it's like on a pirate ship, right? They always use those big rusty hooks. I don't know why.
Oh, Captain Hook had a hook. Like,
see,
yeah, but who else had a hook?
Where'd they find it?
You said it on the pirate ship.
Okay, so that's why he has it. 1895. So you're saying
Candyman's a pirate?
Yeah, maybe. It would have been worse if he had a peg leg. See, that wouldn't have been too good, right? If he was like hobbling in to get Paul. You kick it over, he falls down. That wouldn't have been cool.
I want to know what made them think, like, again, all right, we got to, the first amputee, they're like, all right, we got to replace it with something. Let's give him a wooden leg that, listen, I'm sure wood in the rain gets all crappy. Like, I wonder, like, how often do they have to replace a peg leg?
Oh, with wood?
Does it splinter?
Ooh.
I mean, these are questions that, I want to know how they came up with a peg leg.
We need the answers to it.
I mean, they already had horse and carriages with wheels. Why didn't they think of like something with a wheel on the bottom? Would be a lot easier to walk.
That is true. Like, what's his name in Toxic Avenger? Remember his sidekick in the cartoon? No. He had like a bucket on his leg, and that's how he moved faster.
A bucket? Mm-hmm. Why would a bucket make you move faster?
Because it's on wheels.
Oh,
it was a wheeled bucket, like a janitor wheeled bucket, and he had a. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the peg leg. Every pirate now walks with a limp. That has a peg leg.
They never measure correctly. They never measure twice. Cut once. They just go one time and say, screw it. another cool role that Kelly Rowan, who plays Annie, she plays Peter's mother in the flashback scenes in Hook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's not that much of her, but that's pretty cool. She has good credits. If you look at her credits, she has like the B-ish movies that she's like the star or top billing in. Then other movies like The Specialist or Assassins, she plays like the neighbor in a scene, and that's like all around this time.
Any sequels?
Maybe.
I wonder if I tried to reach out to her. It's possible.
Yeah.
All right.
And the director is more interesting. So take a little break from the movie. So he has 23 credits in his career. And it's very interesting, some of his movies. Like some of the earlier ones I've never heard of. They seem like TV movies and such. So he did Candyman was like his first movie. Then he does Gods and Monsters in 98.
That's with Brendan Fraser, right? I think.
Is that in
that's Brendan Fraser.
He's doing that?
I think that's for Brendan Fraser.
Ian McKellen. Yeah, you're right.
Ian McKellen. Yeah.
So he does that. I think he does pretty good. He does Dreamgirls. Then he does like Jonas Brother music video in 2009. Then in 2011, Twilight Saga, Beauty and the Beast. Very interesting career.
Wow.
Kiss of the Spider Woman. I don't know if that was a good movie, but
it's a classic. I remember that. I forget Peter O'Toole. I forget the.
Oh wow, that's what's her name, in the remake of it.
Oh, they made a remake recently.
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez is in it.
Yeah. No, but the original had, I forget the actor that was in there. William Hurt, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. But it's very interesting sometimes when you see people's IMDb's and how it goes.
No, it sounds like he has great credits. I mean, coming from Candyman, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you got to get your shot somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is quite amazing that that a character from a movie that you only have 2 movies became put up there with all the other Michael Myers, Chucky, Candyman is right up there, with all of them, and he only made 2 movies. Like that just shows you the impact that character had, and too bad he didn't make any more movies.
Yeah, I wonder what the whole thing behind that. Maybe he didn't want to do it, because I would be shocked that they were pumping out every one of those main slasher sequels.
Was he making a lot of movies? Like I'm trying to think of what other things.
No, he was kind of maybe he wasn't getting the roles that he wanted. Because like Final Destination was a big thing after this.
He was in Final Destination?
Yeah, he plays the coroner.
I don't remember that movie.
He's like the main part of the movie, and it was really cool. You're like, oh my god, that's Candyman.
What, the original one? I think I only saw the original one and the one we did. I didn't see any of the other ones.
Okay, but yeah, no, that was no, you're right. It's amazing how 2 of these movies. But yeah, so then we get Bill Nunn, who's another good character actor. We see, it's a Clive Barker story. And then this is where we meet Annie for the first time, which Bill O'Leary is her brother, which I guess you can kind of guess that right now. But she's an art teacher at some school with some like problem kids.
But she seems a little too chummy with them.
She's very close to them. And there's not that many. There's not that many students.
No, but I mean, like, hugging and kissing on the head, and like, she seemed a little too, chummy.
Very nurturing. And then we get the mom, Veronica Cartwright, amazing actress. So one of the coolest ending scenes in a movie with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. She's so great in that. And then we find out like right away, like, oh my God, the mom has cancer. Like lots coming at us. Oh yeah, and Ethan is in prison. He's gonna die.
Well, he goes to the confession. They try to get a confession.
He confesses, yeah.
But he throws something in the 2-way mirror. Why? You have a guy that you have in there for murder. Why is he able to grab any kind of object while you're
terrible? They're not good cops.
They're not, because even the sergeant, the woman at the end, like she notices and she lets Annie go. And does she give her a gun?
No.
Oh, okay.
She says you have a few minutes. No. Right. She doesn't go that far.
Okay. So, but I mean, the point is like you've thought she was a murderer all this time, and now you're just gonna be like, all right, just go.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, so
and how about the cops hating him because they're from this town? So he's like, oh yeah, he thought it was so cool with that big house, and he used to have parties there. So he was like kind of treating him like shit.
I was gonna say, like, imagine having cops like that in your town that already have an attitude with like if you bring you in, like I mean maybe that's a good way of not breaking the law because you don't want to deal with them because you don't know
true.
what. But I mean, yeah, dicky cops, who aren't good at their jobs because.
Well, what's the worst thing they do? If I said name one thing that the cops do that you're like, wow, that's terrible and you should be fired. And they do it multiple times.
Well, the one thing I said is they left a hard enough object to break.
That's huge. Obviously, that's definitely right. But how about showing crime scene photos to civilians? Like in that opening scene when she's like, "My brother couldn't have done that. He would never do that." It's like, "Yeah, your brother did do this," and like shoves it in her face. And then later with the cop does it to Ethan, like, "Yeah, your sister's the murderer. I know who it is." It's like,
well, first of all, I don't think cops walk around with crime scene photos anyway. So the fact that like they're walking around with it is creepy,
Yeah.
And I think that's again, I don't think that's protocol.
Not protocol, but man, but the setting again, we mentioned it earlier, and the music and
the
just
music,
how creepy Mardi Gras is. And honestly, my favorite thing about this whole movie, and I wish movies. Well, you can't do it too much because then it's like, oh, this is like overkill. But the radio guy, dude, the Kingfisher.
So that's what I was asking. So I was starting to talk about it before, and then I forgot. So that was a radio guy that was outside, right? Because he was outside with the parade, I think. He was on like
it was just, we heard his voice while they showed shots of the parade. He wasn't, we never saw him talking.
I thought we saw him talking in there. I thought
he
was out there. Okay.
He's like, hey, folks.
So who's listening to the radio?
Kingfisher.
He kept, the whole time he was talking about Candyman, right? Wasn't he talking about Candyman?
No, he never, he mentioned it after the one, after we as the audience found out, because he was kind of giving us hints.
That's what I mean, like
as well. But
so
there was one time he mentioned Candyman.
Okay, but he was giving you hints. So who's listening to that radio station?
Somebody in a car, and we're seeing their POV.
No one's listening to that. I mean, like because it was like the same like theme that he was talking the whole time, and no one was listening.
He worked a lot. He was on the radio a lot.
No, he was nonstop on the radio. Like it was literally like having a narrator, throughout the movie.
I like that. He was good.
I don't.
He had one really good line. I have it written down somewhere. When we get to that part, I was like, "Oh my god, that's like so awesome." But yeah, so now we have. Oh, dude. So the Mardi Gras, we get the Paul. I don't have his name in front of me. The guy, his name, but great character actor. We mentioned he's the bad guy in Beverly Hills Cop 3. And dude, he's so great. And how about like they're hooking up at their apartment? And then I wrote, did like the director's teenage nephew show up to be like, let me have two people bang on a balcony? Dude, her butt was on the edge of it. Like one excited action.
Okay.
Woo!
You're in Mardi Gras. I mean, seriously, like that's common in Mardi Gras.
I get it, but dude, her butt cheek was on the balcony, like 4 stories up.
But that's Mardi Gras. They do that on the streets when people are walking by. I mean, I think there's like no rules when it comes to Mardi Gras that, whatever goes.
So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What about New Orleans?
What happens in Mardi Gras is open to everybody.
Go to Mardi Gras, leave without a bra.
I think.
Dude, that should be bumper sticker.
Go to Mardi Gras, leave without a bra.
Go to Mardi Gras, leave without a bra. Put that on a shirt.
I would think, like if a spouse or like a boyfriend asks their spouse, "Can I go to Vegas?" They're going to say no because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But you can go to Mardi Gras because everything's out in the open.
Everything's out. Everybody's seen.
So that's okay, but Vegas is not.
The Kingfisher is
go to Mardi Gras, leave without a bra.
So Annie says, how about when they go to her old house, dude? This is what's cool too, because if someone watches this today, that let's say even like your son, I bet you if you watch it, your kids, they watch this. And when he pulls out the phone when he pulls out his cell phone, Annie's like, what's that for? It's like, of course, it's for make phone calls. But then like after like a few minutes, I'm like, oh, dude, it's probably because it was like $10 a minute. And she was probably like, why would you use that right now?
That's what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How about the fact that it's the creepiest looking house ever and they're just walking around? I would not want to go anywhere near. I don't like haunted houses to begin with. And, the minute I open that door and see the shaped inside of that house is, I'm out. Because there's
I love the vines going through the house.
Well,
like
okay.
the house in Jumanji.
Okay.
If that was something that you can actually preserve and live in, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. But the vines, if you noticed, they weren't attached to anything. They were only on the banister.
They were plastic.
No, but they were only on the banister. Like they
I know.
like usually they're coming down the walls and they go. These were literally like it was decoration. It was like a Christmas decoration that they left on there. So, but I mean, again, the shape of this house. Why did it get that point? Like, what? Why did they leave? Because their father got killed. That's
I don't know. She says a line like, "I've been here in 13 years," but we don't know if it's 13 years since anyone's been there or just her.
But okay. What's the time frame between this movie and the first one? Like in the movie world?
Oh, I don't know. It could be the same time frame as release date. There's no reference. I don't think.
Well, that's what I mean. So, like, why did they immediately leave the house abandoned? Like they don't explain why the house is abandoned. Because
they don't. And I think it's because the dad died. Because we never know when the dad died.
So then again, based on the time frame, if it's movie to movie, that's not a long time, right?
No, that's only like 3. Yeah, no,
right.
No.
So
again,
this house looks like it's been
sense.
abandoned for 15 years.
Yeah. Which they said it was just 13 years. So I don't know. Maybe Candyman went up to Chicago to visit a cousin.
Okay, but again, what even if like something horrendous happens in your house, even now, you're just gonna leave it? Like that money that you can get
be rich.
I mean, I was gonna say like that money you leave, you're just gonna leave that. Okay, I understand you don't want to live in it anymore. Sell it, get your money, and how are you gonna move to another house? No, let's just leave it there.
Well, they're loaded, dude. Her apartment was ridiculous.
Yes.
Paul was a chef. I'm not saying he can't make a lot of money in his restaurant.
What, you think she's making a lot of money as an art teacher?
That's what I mean. That's how I know that they just have like generational wealth. Like the mom's apartment's nice.
Yeah, but I don't know if that money carries over to them. What does Paul do?
He's a chef. He's working right on one of those streets because she goes in there and he's like closing up for the night.
All right, I mean, it's not a fancy restaurant. I mean,
he's a chef of a restaurant. He's on the Bourbon Street.
That's but there's a difference between a chef at McDonald's and a chef at a fancy restaurant.
Are you a chef I think you're a cook at McDonald's.
You might be insulting a lot of. So what's the difference between a chef and a cook?
Well, I think if your burger is under $13.
So if it's an expensive burger, then you're a chef. But if it's a cheap burger,
like Applebee's, if I look up an Applebee's ad right now, what do you think? What word do they use?
I would think that whoever's making the meals, because there's a lot of different types of meals, they're going to consider themselves a chef. Are you looking up what's the difference between a chef and a cook?
No, I'm really looking at like what do they use for different restaurants? I can't. Cook. Applebee's cook.
Okay,
on their website.
Then what's the difference between a chef and a cook? Outside of maybe making more money, I just want to know, like, a chef, is it like a doctor and like a psychiatrist and a psychologist? Psychiatrist could prescribe medication, psychologist can't. So
a chef
can
holds a higher position than a cook.
Okay, that doesn't explain anything. He's still making the meals and a cook's making the meals. So higher position, what does that mean?
Prep cooks, line cooks, fry cooks, grilled cooks. Chefs are expected to have a solid understanding of flavors.
So chefs create meals.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gordon Ramsay is chef.
See, I disagree, because if you go to a restaurant...
Frank at Subway is a sandwich artist.
Well, that's different. That's a deli guy. But you go to a restaurant, you have a menu. He's not creating the meals. They're all the same meals. You go to... Okay, you go to a restaurant, they're not saying the cook. They're saying chef.
They're saying chef at a restaurant, yeah.
Yeah, but the restaurant has the same meals on a menu. It's not like he's not creating the meals. You go to a restaurant, it's the same meals they have for the last 3 years on that menu. You go to Applebee's
that Tony fixed up that day.
I think
he's doing that. They don't trust him. They're
no.
Microwave that for 17 minutes.
I disagree. I think Applebee's actually changes the menu more often than a restaurant does.
Really?
You don't think so?
Well, usually because there's a health code violation.
Well, you're really against Applebee's.
Not eating good in the neighborhood.
Did you have a bad experience at Applebee's once?
No, I actually like Applebee's.
So then why are you crapping on them?
There's not one near me, so move near me.
They might. You know what? I haven't seen an Applebee's in a long time. I wonder.
I think they're fizzling out. I ate at Chili's a couple months ago. Still pretty good.
Chili. No, we went to Chili's recently too. Chili's is actually
Really good.
but we only went to one that has a chef.
Oh yeah, that must be fancy. So now in the house, it's full of graffiti. We meet like the homeless vagrant guys. We kind of talked to them a little about before. But dude, the fact that the property just keeps getting bigger and bigger because she goes to that one room and then she comes out, she walks like through his mouth, comes out of like this wild painting and then goes and finds another one. And I'm like, who's lighting these candles? Who is the person? Because we never had anybody worshiping him.
Right. Correct. And I'm assuming anyone that's seen Candyman is dead. Right? I mean, Candyman only comes out when he's ready to kill somebody.
Well, Virginia Madsen saw him and survived.
Okay. So the only person that would be able to do that graffiti of what Candyman looks like and has bees would be Virginia Madsen because she's the only one.
And he kind of goes into people's dreams because we find out from that one boy he never gets like attacked by Candyman, but he goes into his dreams because that kid's drawing him. How about in his house?
Correct.
How about his wall, dude?
Why? Why does he go into boys' dreams?
I don't know.
Right. They don't explain that. Like, it doesn't make sense. It because everybody thinks he's fake because everybody has to prove it. And there's like 3 people that had to prove that he's not real by saying his name 5 times. So, and all of them died, right? Except for Annie. But so again, who knows exactly what he looks like outside of Virginia Madsen? And now Annie, obviously. So who's drawing that? Who made that whole homage to him with the candles and drew? Because that picture was perfect. I mean, literally the bees coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. It's almost like that there is a little bit of the lore of, which again, I'm sure when Wes Craven came up with Freddy and Nightmare Before Elm Street, I'm sure that there was something else I was taking from and so on and so forth. There is a little bit of that element because maybe, like you said, like people don't believe in him. Maybe he was going into dreams to scare them, to put the fear into them, which I don't know what he gets out of that. But that's the only thing I can think of. Like, why was he going into people's dreams and then graffiti gets done?
He's only in that kid's dream. Like, we don't hear anyone else talk about the dreams that he goes into.
Well, somebody else must have painted that stuff. Well, that kid didn't do that entire house.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't explain. Like, it's the fear factor of, he's got this cult following that's worshiping him. Yeah, but they don't explain like how they would know who he is. To me, I think it would have been funnier if it's just maybe they heard Virginia Madsen describe him. So now someone's trying to draw him, based on a description, but you're not going to get accurate. Maybe they give him an afro. Maybe they give him an afro and they give him make him look different. Here, they drew him perfectly. I mean, literally perfectly. And I don't even know if Virginia Madsen saw any bees come out. Like the bees were in this one. I don't know if it was in the first one. I don't remember. But it doesn't make sense that anyone else knows what he looks like because they would all be dead.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think there are bees in the first one. Isn't a bee on the poster of the first movie?
Maybe. I don't know. All right. I don't remember.
You really watched this movie. Yeah, there was bees in the first movie.
Well, you know what? I mean,
and they used 200,000 bees.
Well, in this one or the first one? Because
in the first one, and Tony Todd wore a dental dam to protect from the bees that were in his mouth. He negotiated a special contract clause that paid him $1,000 bonus for every sting he endured. By the end of the filming, how many stings do you think he got?
50.
23.
Oh, okay.
So 23 grand.
Well, in this one, there's clearly a use of a dummy's head when the bees were.
Oh, yeah.
It was so ridiculous. So, I mean.
And then they used again, at 95, when I saw this, I might have been like, wow, this is wild. The CGI now looks pretty bad in those scenes when you see the blood and everything. But, dude, I would have been inviting the bees to sting me. I would have took a bee home with me.
100%. In fact, I think I would have been running around naked so I get more chance to get stung. I mean.
Bees don't like clothes? Hey, that was naked over there. More surface area.
Wait, you think you can get stung through jeans?
No, I know you can't, but you're talking about going naked.
Oh, you wear like Speedo.
Take your shirt off.
Okay, but then your legs are... Listen, we're talking about $1,000 per sting. I want to get as much as my body stung as possible. I mean, so, yeah. Well, what if he was allergic to bees and he didn't know it? And they're like, all right, okay, we'll give you $1,000. Oh, we saved some money.
Yeah. Who was that other guy we were going to have? We should have put there's bees in this movie.
All right, where's Don Rickles?
Yeah, oh man. So now so Annie, like, Paul's about to use his phone. Annie stops him, I guess, to save on the $10 a minute because the guys are looking in the car. And now so Annie gets back to school. There's a fight going on.
Wait. You missed the part. I mean, I think you started it, but like the people that were by his car, and he's like yelling at them, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like,
oh yeah.
Like he was so far away. Like did he think they're going to stop what they're doing? Because he said, "Hey, what are you doing?"
And he thought the lock sound would scare them. They were like, "Oh, rats!" They were gonna smash the window and steal stuff, whatever.
But they didn't show anything that they were doing. Like they weren't stealing anything. They were just like staring there.
They were just peeking. And it wasn't even a nice car. Like if
No.
that was a cool like Bronco or there's just a sharp looking car. Just a red car, I don't know, Mitsubishi, I don't know. And they were just like, ooh.
It would have been funny if they were like stealing the hubcaps or something. Like,
that would have been good,
something. Like they were just standing there. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now we, the fight's at the school. The main boy, Michael, who is Bill Nunn, the Reverend's son, they're fighting because the boy talks about like Candyman, and then the photo, when he shows it to her, and it's like, oh my God.
I did think it was an odd choice to have a reverend have a kid in a movie. Like, but I don't know anything about reverends.
Or preacher? Reverend? Was he a preacher?
Either one. I don't like. I know, like in as a Christian, you know, a pastor can have kids. Reverend, I never knew they could. I mean, I'm wrong.
How about remember the great ABC series starring Dan Aykroyd, Soul Man? He had a family in that show.
I don't remember that. Oh, he was a preacher.
You remember that? He had the church. The church was behind his house.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
and the theme song was, of course, "I'm a soul man."
I'm not a fan of Dan Aykroyd. He to me, he's like the David Spade, right? He's
Aykroyd, just really weird. He's way too weird.
No, now or then?
Always.
No,
he always is over the top with with what he does.
But I don't think he's funny without someone else. Like I think he's funny, you know, again in Great Outdoors, not because of him.
He's a straight man. Not even just that. Like to me, he is as Roman. He is good. But Ghostbusters, he's a good straight man. He needs to be the one that's what I mean.
That's a David Spade. Like I'm not a David Spade fan. Only when he's with Farley. Like Joe. That's why I can't stand Joe Dirt, because it's all about him. You know, Dan Aykroyd, Coneheads, I think is stupid. I can't watch him. Like I feel like he never really made, even, I didn't even like him in Nothing But Trouble. Was it Nothing But Trouble?
That was horrible.
It was horrible.
And that has a lot of people in it that just didn't want to be in it.
It was amazing that did so bad because the cast was, I mean, they should have.
I watched that movie so many times. I remember it was always on like Showtime or Cinemax. I remember I had surgery. And I remember that when I got home, I just watched that and had chicken soup. And then I watched it again because it went from like HBO East. And then I watched it on HBO West like 3 hours later because it was just so bizarre, dude.
But Candy. And was it? Yeah, I would say Candy was in it. Aykroyd, Demi Moore, Chevy Chase. I mean, like, that should have crushed. I mean, really, awful.
So now we see the boy with the picture. And then this is where we get the boy saying like, "Oh yeah, you know, if you don't believe in it, then why don't you do Candyman right now?" I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Everybody, as I said, everybody has to prove it. They all have to prove it. Now, if that kid really thought Candyman was real, would you dare someone else to do it? Not at all.
I know. But it wasn't Michael, the one that's scared, didn't do it. He didn't dare. It was the other boy.
No, I know. But still, even so, I don't think I think they all believed it. But also, if you do Candyman in front of people, shouldn't you all be affected?
Well, you would think so, right? Maybe he doesn't kill kids.
Unless because they're not looking in a mirror. Like they have to be looking, like if she's if she's in the same room with everybody, because I mean a lot of times you see them doing it. Well, no, because even the cop. Wait,
Paul wasn't looking in the mirror. The cop was looking in the mirror.
Was the cop looking in the mirror?
He said it.
Oh, that's right.
In the two-way mirror, yeah.
What if the guy next to him is? What if you're closing your eyes and you face in the mirror? Okay.
Candyman can't get me.
Okay. I need rules. I need Candyman rules.
Or if you're blind.
Does that count? Like, what if it's are there braille mirrors that
braille mirrors
that look like your face?
What you look like? And then Candyman appears.
But
Maybe.
Do you think there's like you have to go to an artist? They create Braille based on what you look like.
Yeah.
And then this way you can get dressed in the morning. Like if your hair is all messed up, like somehow like like how far does Braille go? Like I mean, for blind people.
Oh, descriptions?
Well, I just like if you're gonna get married and you're blind, can you get a Braille picture of the person?
Well, you feel their face.
Okay.
And you have to believe her. Don't you remember Curb? You had to believe. Yeah, she told me she used to be a model. I don't think she was a model.
Well, think about this. Imagine being blind, and I can't imagine like feeling someone's face and saying, "Whoa, you're pretty hot." Like, how can you tell outside of knowing they have a huge nose? You can't tell anything else.
That'd be an interesting study if you took someone and you did like blindfolded them, felt 100 faces, and you had them ranked by somebody else by like looks wise and see what your hands are. I wonder. That'd be an interesting study.
That would be a very interesting study.
Like what would feel like, I wouldn't even know.
Well,
like,
I would just think
nose,
any woman or any guy or woman that has a big nose, they're going to be out immediately. Like it's almost like they already have like a strike against them. So, if you feel the big nose, I mean, I think in the movie The Mask where Rocky Dennis, he dated a blind girl.
Really?
And I think there's a scene where she's...
Oh, yeah, that's why it worked, right?
Yeah. And she did feel his face. I mean, I think in that case, you definitely could feel a little difference.
Yeah.
But even if feeling a little difference, if you've never seen a face before, how do you know what's different and what's not?
Yeah. Interesting.
There's a lot of questions about blindness.
It'd be hard to figure out like that. You got to think it would almost be like so different. I would love to see that study.
When you go in your house later, go to Jamie, start feeling her face and close your eyes. See if you like. Just see if you can see it. Like
I know what she looks like.
I
that
know.
Fit
So right.
study.
So this way, like, see if your hands know what she looks like. Somehow your hands don't go to her face though, and they go a little lower.
It's not very like this. Like even like, how would you even? But
I find that fascinating though. Because obviously it works for them, and I just find like what are they judging it on? Like they go over some acne, like, do they get grossed out?
Oh.
Like, is that like, they say, I'd be curious. Like, I like your study though. That would be interesting that you line up 10 people and you blindfold one person and they have to find the best looking one.
Yeah. That'd be wild.
That was wild.
To be able to see like, what do you, how would you even,
yeah. Interesting.
Pretty nuts. But so now we get, so after she says Candyman 5 times, the kids are all like laughing at her. Oh no. How about, so she leaves school. She says Candyman 5 times. All the kids are looking at her. And then when she's leaving school that day, we see like these kids dressed up going for like Mardi Gras. And the one boy was like dressed like a king and he starts pointing at her. That was wild. How about when the bee showed up in the classroom?
I was going to say like, so is that Candyman dressed as a bee
showing up?
And like, because that I can't like, does he control the bees? I thought the bees come out.
You think it was like bee 74 onward?
Oh my gosh.
Go.
I thought you were doing bingo. It sounded like you started doing bingo for a second. But like, does he control bees, or they only come out when he kills? Like, are they inside his body and he could do one at a time, or because usually
send one out of his finger,
like
out of his nose,
what of his roll?
Wait,
come out of his finger? How are they going to come out of his finger?
They come out of his face.
No, they come out of his mouth. They don't come out of his face.
They do after she cuts him in the finger. Yeah,
okay,
and then he closes
she
back up.
cuts him. So you think she?
And then he closes it back up, so he can't open his finger real quick.
Well, no, I don't think. Yeah, because he doesn't open his face. She opens his face.
But he closes his face, so he can easily open it.
He can
and
heal.
Close it too.
Doesn't mean Wolverine can heal. He's not, but he can't just automatically make a cut appear.
I'm saying, but he can cut with his.
Forget it. I just want to know the rules of the bees. I want to know the rules of him appearing. I want to know why he doesn't appear right away for her, but he appears right away for everybody else.
Maybe we'll be able to figure some more out. So now when she goes home to Paul, she has to canoodle with him in order to get away the conversation of, so at school today I did Candyman.
See, I don't think so. I think she'd be a nervous wreck because she believes it all this time. She says it. She's got to be thinking about it. I don't think by canoodling, she's going to forget what just happened.
No, she wanted Paul not to mention it.
No,
he
I know.
didn't like the idea of it.
But she still wanted to block it out, like the whole. She thought that canoodling will block out the entire like thought of Candyman.
Well, got him to go to bed so she can go out to the balcony when we really see how big this apartment really is. And she's just staring out nowhere. And then out of nowhere, he pops out in old-timey pajamas. So he woke up after having sex with her and said, you know what? Let me throw on those striped blue pajamas.
So he was only missing that hat that Hart drew. Imagine he had that hat.
Yeah. The old little the ball hanging off. But yeah, dude. And then he's like, hey, I'm going to open a bottle of wine for dessert. And then I forgot how he died, and it was the way they did it was pretty neat, but when he like can't open the bottle of wine, I thought that was going to lead to something. It just obviously gave more time for her to see Candyman in the mirror.
Yeah. It was a stalling. Yeah.
And then he just teases her. He comes behind her and he has the hook hand and he's like just moving around her body.
But like, why didn't she yell then?
She didn't want to say that's just weird. She could have warned him, right?
Of course.
Like, could he have? What if he ran out into the public? Could he get killed in public?
Well, he would have to somehow teleport. I mean, clearly Annie knew that she was not going to die, right? Because this is the second time. This is the second time he appeared, right? For her.
Yeah,
no,
well, that's the first time
okay.
she saw him.
Okay, but he wasn't killing her. First of all, I think in the first movie they get in a trance. Like Virginia Madison was kind of in a trance. So I don't know, maybe she was in a trance when he was out there. So that could have been the reason why she didn't yell.
Oh, okay.
But
I guess that kind of makes sense. So she was like just staring at him, not really saying much, letting him put like the hook hand. Dude, crazy. And then we hear like a crash. We hear like glass shatter when he disappears and he just keeps saying, Annie.
The whole movie does the Andy.
Yeah, and then we see Paul, and she walks out, and he's just like, and he's being like held by the mouth, and you're like, oh my God, dude, what? And he's like, Andy, he doesn't try to move or anything. So that's why it would have been great if we would have got somehow his perspective or another camera angle, and we just saw nothing behind him, but only Annie saw Candyman. So it was like kind of like an invisible man that was holding him because he didn't run or anything. He just stayed still. Like,
again,
no fight.
That's a Freddy thing, right? That the only person that was sleeping can be affected by Freddy, things happening and no one else sees what's going on.
Yeah.
So, 100%. Like, I mean, like they don't explain that. Like, did he really see him or he doesn't? Even when the mom dies, like, I don't know if she saw him. It was just confusing. It was confusing.
But this is where she scratches him and the bees start coming out of his face. But then they close up pretty quick.
He has healing power. Are these bees always alive inside his body?
Yeah. It's full of bees.
That is like ridiculous.
Jason's a zombie? He's full of bees?
Jason has worms, so I guess it's true.
Jason has worms.
He does have worms.
He does have. So I do love like the one cop line that is true and is wild about this family. Like, even if they do not like the kid from high school, they have a really shitty stuff. Like, the situation they're in is wild. Even if they do think they are the killers, he says the line, that family won the jackpot in the shit sweepstakes. But she's at the police station, she's not arrested. And it's like, how could you not? Like, it's in an apartment, no one else is around. She called the cops and her guy's murdered and they let her leave.
Well, they can't hold her. I mean, if they don't have any evidence.
The evidence it's in the apartment.
Okay, but doesn't mean that she did it. Oh, you'd be an awful cop. Just because
I know, but they should still have time to go look at the evidence.
Okay, but
dude, isn't she back in her place? Not that.
Yeah, but
no, I guess they guard her apartment for a while.
They still can't do anything until they have actual evidence and have a warrant or whatever. I mean, they can't just say, "Oh, you were in the area. We're going to arrest you right now because you must be the murderer."
We're going to hold you in this until we have a chance to check the apartment.
They can't do that. I'm assuming you need some kind of warrant. You need some kind of reason.
She didn't have blood on her when she didn't go check him to make sure he's alive. Did she really love him?
Again, she might be in a trance. I think she might be in a trance. I think yeah. I mean, listen, there's a lot of death in this movie where, again, we always see this. There's no remorse, or shock. Like,
None.
I mean, literally after he dies, she acts like, I mean, this is her boyfriend or fiance or whatever it was. And
Husband.
Okay, husband. And like, literally the next scene, she's like, you know, acting normal.
Well, at
Like-
the end, she's skipping and laughing with the boy.
Well, I mean, I think she loved the boy.
But so we obviously can't have every scene in a movie, but did she let Paul's family know? Was there a funeral planned for Paul?
So
Nothing happened.
Wait a second. So you wanted us to watch her call the mom, the brother.
Not call it, but some reference to it. Dude, this
the movie's
movie
an
went on
hour
for
and a half
another
long.
few days.
You think that's an important fact that we have to say? All right, now we have to go to the funeral and notify
we don't need
everybody.
to go through it, but there's no other mention of Paul for the rest of the
that's-
movie.
I'm more concerned that she didn't show any emotion about Paul. I mean, what's the time frame between this scene?
Like you said, it was a trance, so maybe you're right.
Yeah, but
The
I
whole
don't.
trance.
I don't think. Well, no, she's in a trance when he's around, not when.
Oh, okay.
But what's the time frame between this and say the end, like the end of the movie? Can't be more than a day.
Yeah, 2 days, maybe tops.
Okay, so the fact that she seems more concerned about the kid than she was about Paul.
Yeah, because she goes to see the guy at the frozen ice stand.
Okay. I mean,
Well, we'll get to that.
I wrote that down. I mean, Paul just died, and she wants an ice cone.
Well, no, she's going to look for the thing.
Oh, I understand that, but her husband just got mutilated like the day
As
before.
Cherry. Ugh.
But she goes for ice, and that couple. Oh my gosh,
Thibodeau, man, that guy was wild.
would you get ice from them?
No,
I wouldn't.
she was like
Oh.
50, and I'm like,
Oh
why
my
is she with that guy? He's like 80. He's moving like barely.
But
He's
the
gross.
way he
Probably never
talked,
washes his
the
hands.
creepiness, the way he talked to her and Annie, and I'm like,
She's licking the arm of that guy.
Oh my gosh, it was awful.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very, very weird.
Again, who's buying ice from them? How are they in business?
Well, he's in the trades of dark arts. it seems.
That
He has a hidden room that's huge. How do you hide that room?
I thought they were in a little trailer. Like I thought they were in like one of those trailers when you have like a truck. Like
oh yeah, one of those.
Yeah, one of those. That's what it looked like at first. You know, like I didn't think like they had a deep room. You know, that you had to follow him. Ed, okay, you're gonna follow after what you just watched between the couple. You're gonna go in alone, following this guy in the back room.
I know.
Listen,
Very sketchy.
this is a place that should have had a gimp.
Yeah, right.
It's-
It was just like old, like New Orleans,
Oh.
like artifacts, a bunch of creepy stuff. But this is where we get my Kingfisher guy. The next day, we get today is the day, New Orleans. It's Mardi Gras.
so
And then Annie's having a dream about her mom getting murdered, and I'm like, oh my god, that's real. But no, she's just at her mom's house.
how'd she figure out though to go to the Iceman?
She found out Thibodeau from her brother. She went to go visit her brother, and her brother goes, oh, there's this guy Thibodeau that dad met with, but he wouldn't talk to me. And she's like, come on, what's his name? I'll find him. And then she went.
So why didn't the brother tell her this a long time ago?
He doesn't want her to get involved. And then when he finds out now that she said Candyman, he's like, oh, Annie.
All right.
But yeah, and then the students show up at the house. This is like the students show up right after the mom, after, again, her son-in-law is murdered. Her son is in prison in jail for murder. She goes, oh, I'm going to wear my prom dress to Mardi Gras. Bet you it still fits. It's like, what? Leave.
And based on the fact that her husband got murdered from Candyman, she has to know what's going on.
Something's up, right?
Something. And the fact that all people have been talking about for the last 3 days has been Candyman. She knows what's going on, and she's like, doesn't seem that word. Like, still like almost again, another person like kind of ignoring the situation. And why are the kids at her house?
To say that Matthew's missing.
How do they know where she lives?
You said she's very friendly. She probably lets them come hang over.
I
play
think
video games.
she's too friendly. Like, there's no way. I don't think any teacher wants their students to know where they live.
Yeah, that's frowned upon. Yeah, definitely frowned upon.
I mean, so
I said his name wrong before. I said Michael. His name's Matthew. He said, this is where she goes, oh, I'm going to go. She's like in a rough neighborhood. So they're all like giving her the head nod. And she goes to see Bill Nunn, who plays the Reverend. And he starts explaining, here's my son's nightmares. Here's his room. We see the painting that calms him in his room is of Candyman. And even the dad seems like he never saw it when he opened the closet. He said, oh, Lord.
But
and you just see like, whoa.
But again, they don't explain why the son has these dreams, correct?
Well, they don't explain why, but I think like we kind of talked about. I think it's kind of
But why?
a mixture. They're using the lore of
I get that,
Freddy.
but why him?
Why him specifically?
Yeah, because
No,
but it's like there needs to be some kind of connection. I mean, because otherwise, if they're doing the lore of Freddy, then the other kids would have the same dream.
Yeah, and they don't believe in him.
Right.
He's the only one.
So if you believe in him, then he only believes in him because he has them in his dream. So there must have been so why did he go to him? That's an
Candyman's going into that dream to try to get the kid to be scared, to scare the friends.
I got to tell you, there's a lot of unanswered questions from this movie. Egan's gonna have his work cut out for him.
Well, it's a sequel that kind of takes the story in a different direction, which could be definitely what's going to happen. But so now we get the one drawing in the book towards the end is of Annie, and then we get the kids in the costume. This is what I kind of talked about before. But they're poking a dead cat that was murdered by bees. And the little boy just starts, he's like in a king outfit.
I didn't like that, by the way. I didn't like seeing the cat dead.
Oh. Well, you remember the scene in the first Candyman, right?
I know.
Is there a dog scene?
Well, there's also, I just watched a movie where there was a cat that OD'd. I didn't like that. Was
it Tomcat or was it Garfield?
Oh, my gosh.
Heathcliff's down on his luck.
Garfield would OD on lasagna. He would OD on lasagna.
Hey, one too many Mondays in a row, man. Having some rough Mondays. And he lifts the table. Were you a Garfield guy or a Heathcliff guy?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
nothing beats Heathcliff has the best theme song, and the way he used to eat was like better because he would leave the skeleton on the fish.
Well, I think Heathcliff had a lot of friends though. Like Garfield only had Odie.
Yeah, it was very.
And Odie, I don't even know if Odie spoke. I don't think Odie spoke. So
he didn't know.
Yeah, so he was like this. Why do they do that? Snoopy doesn't speak. Why did dogs are not allowed to speak, but cats can? Okay.
Cat anti-dog propaganda put out by the Cat Nation, trying to get more cats adopted over dogs.
Okay.
They don't talk. They'll never talk.
Do you know how many times that I've talked to my dog privately? I said, "Come on, just talk to me now. Let me hear one word from you. No one's gonna know." But I think, because I do think they could talk because they understand a lot of things. I just think there's like a rule, like a Fight Club rule. You cannot speak to humans.
They're like only Dr. Doodle.
I keep trying though.
Hey, come on. Shh. Hey, come here, buddy. Give me a whole goddamn jar of peanut butter. I'll drop it on the ground. You use your tongue. I'll turn the other cheek.
That entire sequence just sounded really bad.
Why?
You're gonna turn the
peanut butter jar on the ground.
You have a dog, peanut butter, and you're turning your cheek.
Oh my gosh!
Listen, I saw Larry. Wasn't a curb when he dropped peanut butter or something like that?
Oh yeah, remember that? Oh my god!
Did you see? By the way, did you see his new show?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Pretty good so far.
Some of it was pretty good. I mean, some of it was a little overkill, but we'll see.
But it was just great because it was his humor and
I'm gonna say
the Declaration of Independence episode.
It's basically like History of the World.
Oh yeah.
With Larry, but it's like Larry can continue his humor, which that's why it works.
Yeah.
So all right,
that was good. So now we get Ethan still in jail, and now this is when she. Oh yeah, we just kind of mentioned this. She says, "Oh, I said Candyman." And then Ethan goes, "Oh, there's this guy Thibodeau, and you got to watch out for him." And then the Ethan actually wants to be in jail. Because he even says the line like, "I'm safe here," or "Someone's always watching." And this is where we meet the couple that you talked about with the whole licking of the closet.
But has Ethan ever met Candyman?
He's never seen him.
So why is he? What is he saying? I'm safe. Like, so from what?
Because he feels that if he was alone, he might get affected.
Not if he doesn't say Candyman.
Well, that's true, but not necessarily. He could have got killed in that scene.
Yeah, but but in his mind, he's saying, "I'm safe here," but he knows the lore of Candyman, so he should say, as long as I don't.
Well, he's probably thinking cops aren't going to be dumb enough to come next to me and say it. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
Okay, I don't know.
That no one around me is going to say it. I should be safe, which is not the case. But
I disagree. I think this is the question number 10 that is unanswered.
Question number 10.
Yeah.
So, dude, I do love when the guy brings her inside, Thibodeau. And he opens the closet, and it's like all those bottles that are filled with highlighter. Remember when everybody who had that in like middle school and high school, and lava lamps and black lights? It was like, ooh, this is pretty cool. But dude, that room is wild.
Again, you're a female walking into like a basement of a creepy guy. There's no way she'd go alone.
It hasn't been dusted in years.
Oh my gosh!
Like what? This guy seems like he goes in there often.
Well, look what he looks like. Yeah, he looks like he hasn't showered in years. So I mean, I don't think he's really worried about the dust.
And at this point, Ethan's by himself because the cops are tailing him. They're outside, like watching, so they're kind of checking on him. Another credit that guy has, that dick cop. He was in Cop Rock.
I don't know. I mean, I know of
that was that series where there was like it was a musical cop show.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
No, I never saw it, but I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. That guy was the star of it. He was in all the episodes. So how about, dude, the fact that Tony Todd, and which makes it even cooler, like the story I mentioned before, that he was under the towel, like he has the bees on him. Very interesting, like especially when it's your face, like Freddy. A lot of those stunt scenes, he doesn't have to do it because you can put somebody else in that mask. They're not talking, I know Robert just had the perfect movements for it, but you could switch it out for a little bit. This one, it is Tony Todd, bees all over him. But the fact that he's sitting there with a towel and it's like, hey, what's this over here?
Yeah, no, that was.
He was hiding like a bad hide and go seek.
I was gonna say, I put down he's playing peekaboo.
You're playing hide and go seek with your kids, and they're like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't get a chance to get up here. And I'm like, throw a blanket on my head.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. So now we get, and then his death is wild. So when the bees get all over him, I thought it was crazy as that wasn't a stunt guy either. That was that old guy with bees all over him. And then when he gets his head thrown through the wall when he tries to help Annie, that was pretty wild because his face got like ripped off.
And again, Annie doesn't look that affected by the situation she just saw. No, so she literally saw 2 murders in a matter of 2 days and moves on to the next.
She runs to the street so quick. And then in the Mardi Gras parade, they were walking around with torches. Is that still a thing? Dude, the actress trips on one of the torches with a flame on it. Yeah, dude. And she like lifted her leg, looked at her real quick, and then continued running.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Well, maybe
one of the extras dropped it.
Maybe Frankenstein was in the area.
So now she gets away. She goes into a random apartment, or maybe that's her brother's. We didn't see.
No, I thought that wasn't her. See, I mean, I thought
that wasn't hers. Hers was really nice.
Okay,
unless she has another place. They're so rich, but and then she gets in the shower. She locks the door.
Why would she get in the shower?
I have no idea.
I mean,
but she's naked, and we get a voiceover to find out that there's a baby. So we get a baby reveal from Candyman. My question for you, horror fans of this movie, if you're listening, did you use that soundbite as your baby reveal if you were having a girl?
Oh my gosh.
I bet you someone did that. You know that.
Okay, first of all, how does Candyman know this? Like, I want to know the extent of his powers. Like
he's like you said, in a trance. He's driving.
No, I know that.
He's taking her over.
So how does he know she's pregnant?
He was watching. He's a peeper.
No, I mean it's very easy to peep when you're a bee. I mean you can kind of go anywhere.
Oh my God, dude! He could be like sitting on the top of Paul's head while getting a great POV.
Oh my gosh! But I mean, again, 2 murders. The first thing you decide to do is take a shower. I mean, first of all, would you even feel safe in a shower at this point? Like you clearly you're surrounded by murder, and somehow you're involved. You got this Candyman guy on a loose, and you're gonna stop and take a shower.
It does make it seem like she is guilty if the cops are following her. It's
100%.
like, hey guys,
while you're washing,
she must have killed him. Yeah, DNA. I'm getting rid of the DNA. I'm wiping it off my body.
Yeah.
But then she's right on the prowl. Like pretty quick after this, she's following the Reverend, and he's going to the church, and she finds out a little bit about Candyman from him. So we get a lot more exposition about.
And then how did he know again?
Just from the church records.
So what? Oh, just do they? Like, why didn't he tell her this before?
He must have known already.
That's what I'm saying.
He knew right away that Candyman was born on her family's property.
I don't believe that he didn't know when his son was drawing the pictures. I think he was playing dumb, like Freddy, how the parents don't believe Freddy's real, even though they know.
Maybe the Reverend's like, man, I'm the Reverend. I don't want people to not go to my church because my son believes in the Candyman.
Yeah, no, I think he knew. But again, that's something that probably information that would have helped her before instead of going through this. So,
But when he sends her to the cemetery and opens the gate and he goes, there's more, and he sends her out there, and then she finds out that Candyman had a daughter.
The fact that he goes, I wrote it down, he goes, hope you could stop it. And then he doesn't go with her. He's sending her by herself. He 100% bails. I mean, this is a big part of this. It has to do with his son, right? I mean, his son's dealing with all this. How about don't you want to try to help stop what's going on? No, he sends her by herself to deal with it.
Yeah, not good. Not a nice reverend.
No,
not cool.
Not at all. Okay.
And this cop's wild. So this is when he gets back. Here he has a crime scene photos, very quick, of Thibodeau's face. Shoving it in Ethan's face. Oh, yeah, your sister. You're a family of killers. And he's like, oh, yeah, Candy. Oh, because then that's when Ethan says, no, it wasn't her. It's the Candyman of the day. He goes, yeah, you believe in that? And he's like, Candyman. And then, boom, he's right behind him in seconds.
5 times he says it a different way each time.
Candyman.
Yeah. And then he does a corner Candyman, and he does all these different it's his facial expressions every time he did it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what an overacting.
And then a real oh shit moment when he
immediately though. That one was immediate. There really
got
was
it, and then thrown through the window.
Yeah,
that was cool. You know who didn't react? The girl whose desk he fell on. She just looked at him. She was probably like, this guy's an asshole.
I was going to say, you know what? She probably doesn't care. But then only one cop runs upstairs. Only one.
Oh, I know.
You're assuming there's a murderer upstairs, and you send one cop to go up there.
Yep. Only one. Not on the other stairwell. That was almost like he would have got away if that guy didn't shoot him.
Yeah.
But because you ended up somebody in the back, this would be like in a spoof movie of this, or any kind of movie when someone dies like that. It's like, dibs on his chair. But yeah, dude, he gets tossed right out, man. It's like, whoa, man. That was pretty wild. That was a wild scene. Seeing him get shot, you're like, oh my God, Ethan, jeez.
Yeah, you know what though? But I'm glad it. The fact that they did something like that, and it would make sense because again, he didn't say Candyman and everything, and so I think seeing that kind of surprise, thinking what the cops thought they thought he was the murderer and they killed him by accident. I actually like that whole thing.
Yeah.
Instead of having a Candyman kill for that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that I guess we're not there yet. I was going to say the commissioner or whatever, the head cop sees what's going on. She doesn't even look fazed.
Which is kind of like right now. So this is where we get another, again, a bad cop. Because when the cops show up after they're looking for Annie, so they're like, oh, let me go to the mom's apartment. He leaves the desk. The cop goes, instead of letting the cops walk to him, he gets up, greets the captain or whatever. And right at that same moment, Annie's able to sneak through because she's on the security camera and nobody's watching. She sneaks into the stairwell. She's able to sneak into the upstairs, sees her mom. And this is where she sneaks in and finds the photo, confronts her mom about it. And the mom says hey, there is no Candyman, and then boom.
But you know what? The mom was drinking, and she looked like she's waiting for Annie to come there, knowing, expecting her to approach her about Candyman. She looked like she looked prepared, like she's been waiting for this to happen.
She's she's gonna find out. She's smart. She's able to figure something out.
That's what I think. Yeah.
But God, when she says no, there's no Candyman, he's right behind her. One thing I have to say is think about the way his hook is on his hand, right? It's curved like that. And it's kind of hard to get the hook part unless you're grabbing. But how does he shove it? He's standing right next to her.
He does an uppercut. It's an uppercut.
I know, but it doesn't go through her stomach.
This guy has bees living inside his body, and you're concerned.
I'm just saying it's a rounded edge that he's pushing through a back.
No, he's tilting it first, and then he does a tilt, like a scoop. I think it's more like a scoop. No, it's the hook. Is the hook facing up or down?
It should have no hooks. It should have just been like a blade.
Oh, really? I think the hook is, but I mean, is the hook facing up or down? If this is straight,
no, it's facing like this,
facing up.
It's a hook, like Captain Hook. It's not up.
So he's doing a dig. He's just doing a dig.
It's like this.
Okay. So he's uppercutting. He's doing a dig. You can't. This is Candyman, So I mean,
very awkward. But yeah, he kills her right through her back. We don't see it go through. We just see blood.
But why is he there at this point?
Because she said there's no Candyman.
But she didn't say his name 5 times.
But Annie's there.
So
once it's out of Pandora's box,
but that doesn't make sense,
or out of the mirror,
because other people, like, then the cop said Candyman 5 times, right? So so is he there? But the cop is like, is there more than one Candyman?
Yeah, and what's the distance on that? No, I don't think there's more than one.
Okay, so
right?
so it almost seems like every time he kills, then he disappears until someone says Candyman 5 times. So then why is he just appearing now at this point? Just because Annie's there?
Yeah,
I don't know. All right, 11. That's question number 11.
11 questions.
All right.
So the mom, just before she dies, she hits the alarm. Annie somehow escapes. She meets the detective who, just before this, she sees the footage and there's no Candyman in
First
the
of all,
surveillance
this
footage.
is the mom's house, right?
Yeah.
That's some alarm system that she has.
Oh,
why
yeah,
why does she have an alarm system that's...
She gets robbed a lot?
I guess. I mean, that's pretty, like, that's like a...
It's a very sensitive button. It wasn't like a switch you pull down to it.
Yeah.
I'd bump into that all the time, dude.
Yeah.
But the lady helps Annie escape, which is pretty good.
Again, I don't know if she'd really do that. If anything, she'd be like, listen, you're going to be safer with me.
See, yeah, she should have went with her, right?
Something like that. Like, again,
she could have been sort of the hero of the movie. Maybe that female cop detective dies helping Annie at the very end.
Okay, but not to mention the fact that, or she's like, listen, I know this woman, every person she's in contact with dies. I don't want to be near her. Annie, you go on your own.
Just leave.
Yeah.
Get away from
I'll
everyone.
let you go. Yeah. Go as far as you can.
Yeah. Oh, man. But I didn't mention it before, but how about the drunk guy that was on the ground? That guy's at IMDb with a photo. There's the guy that they show him face down and says, I'm drunk. Please let me sleep.
Yeah.
And then this is what the radio guy says, my favorite line. This is like when it's pouring rain at Mardi Gras. She's running through everywhere and she's going back to her family's house. And the radio voice says, get drunk, get fat, and get fucked. I'm like, whoa, man. Oh, wait. How can you say that on the radio?
I'm telling you, he was on the street.
Is he just following her?
No, I'm telling you, I could have sworn that there's like a DJ table or something, and he's out while the parade's going on. Everybody's out there, and he's talking on the microphone, and he's out in the street. I don't think
that's different.
In the beginning, I thought it was the radio, but I think
he said that outside of her house. Do you think he's DJing like on the go?
Following
her to her abandoned home?
Maybe it's Candyman. Maybe Candyman works for him. And he gives him the updated news.
He's his hype man. Candyman needs a hype man. He doesn't like to say a lot of words.
Yeah,
so we need somebody to do the talking.
Well, how does Candyman know where to go? He has the guy. The guy tells him where to go. That's...
Yeah. All right. My God, dude. So then she gets to the house. She starts smashing all the mirrors. And then she thinks like, oh no, I need to go out to the slave quarters. That's when she runs into Matthew.
So why does she feel that it's just in general, I'm going to get rid of all the mirrors?
Yeah, she knows that he gets trapped into a mirror.
Okay,
so
but
she knows
but
that.
She should also know that if I don't say his name 5 times, he can't come out anyway.
Well, she didn't know about the mirror until later in the movie. I don't think she knew about that right away.
All right.
But the mirror is wild, right? Like, how cool is that? When we get that flashback scene, we kind of mentioned already about like the honey man, and it's actually right here. We see the mirror, and it's like a snake. Like, it looks pretty badass. But the fact that he was trapped in that, and that mirror was just like sitting in their house, like it was set up perfectly, like eye level to her.
Why was it in the house? Just because that's where he used to live?
Well, that's where her family.
Right,
so her family had that. Was probably an heirloom.
Okay.
With Candyman inside of it.
With a moat and everything in the house?
I know. Yeah, that house is... I mean, there's a giant mud pit, dude. The fact that the stairs collapsed and she falls into the giant mud pit...
But how did Matthew go there? Why did he go there? How do you know about it?
Well, he probably again, it doesn't make sense, but he sees the visions and the dreams.
So he's just hanging out there? I mean, it just, like, come on.
Seems like it. Or he's looking for Annie.
No, he wasn't, because he's the one that wasn't at school. Remember, he like the kid said...
he disappeared, but maybe he was trying to figure something out on his own. Yeah, they really left his story open-ended. They should have did a little bit more with him. Because he seemed important, disappeared, and then he wasn't really.
Correct. And he's not the brightest, because, when Annie asks for help, he comes back with a bunch of kids.
Oh, I know. Go get help. And they're back really quick.
Very quick.
Insane.
Right. So we're assuming that all the kids are basically sitting around doing nothing. And he was able to, but that's your first, don't go to the police. Don't go to like the fireman. I'm just going to get a bunch of kids. And he must have been like, when he comes, he's coming back and he sees a bunch of kids. Like, she must be like, oh my God.
I'm screwed.
Okay.
Yeah, but so his last words we find out. This is what's weird.
Okay.
So he only said Candyman one time in the mirror when they put the mirror up to his face. When they said, "Oh, she'll never want to be with you. You're the way you touch my daughter," and he like put the mirror in front. He said Candyman one time, and that was it. They took the mirror away. The daughter took it. It was over.
Well, okay. First of all, when Candyman decided to tell his whole like life story to Annie, which was a little ridiculous. Like it was like how the villains always tell their plan, where he's like, I get my powers from the mirror. Why is he saying that to her? Because now she knows to kill the mirror, and it'll destroy him. Like he literally told her the fact that he was crying, I kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah,
he was crying in that scene.
Very sad. And then she takes the mirror, says "screw you," smashes it. The house starts collapsing.
Well, now wouldn't it have been better because he turns he turns to stone or like
no, he turns into a mirror.
Yeah, but he breaks, right?
Yeah,
it would have been better if like a bunch of candy came out of him.
Oh my
god! He fell and
he's a pinata. Matthew hits him with a 2x4.
His name is Candyman. A bunch of M&Ms, a bunch of M&Ms fall out. Like I think that would he crumbles into M&Ms. That would have been better. He's Candyman.
Reese's Pieces. E.T. comes out, grabs one.
Oh, now you're ridiculous.
Now I'm ridiculous. But no, the fact that like she pulls that, the house starts like. Oh no, she doesn't break the mirror yet, right? She does that, then he goes to that. But when she says the line to him, when she finally gets the kids come, they save her, and that's when she's like, "Oh, you guys go ahead," and she reaches for the mirror that's floating, and then Candyman is just floating on the water. He's standing on the water, and she says the line, "The cradle is your grave, not mine." Smashes the mirror, and then we mentioned it earlier, like how bad the CGI was.
Oh yeah.
For now, but maybe then that looked good.
Well, I think yeah, of course it did, because like again, look at how we see Superman, 2 and all these movies. Like it is amazing. Even movies that came out 10 years ago, the CGI is so different now. Yeah, and it's like it's amazing how like when it first came out, you're like, this is amazing, and like now you look at it as like, I can't believe I fell for it. Like we're gonna watch.
People got duped because everybody wanted Jurassic Park, and there were people saying, "Oh man, I can do that for you."
Correct. But that's why, like, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Terminator 2 because I wonder to see how.
Well, we're not doing that next, but that'll be
no, in the future.
Yeah.
But I'd be curious to see how that holds up because that was like the first big special effects. Like,
I think still holds up.
I think it does, and I think that'd be cool. So, all right.
Yeah, I watched that a few years back, but yeah. So now we get Bill Nunn, the Reverend, Annie, Annie and Matthew are out. They get blessed at church, then they're just walking down the street. Then we get a wild flash forward sequence.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
Yep.
Why does a little girl know about Candyman?
Exactly.
And she knows to say it 5 times. Like you would think that's something. Now this is the future. She's got a 5-year-old now.
Yes.
She would be protecting this kid and never mentioning Candyman ever. And the kid knows to say Candyman 5 times.
As soon as her mom walks out of the room.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
But she does bring it up just beforehand, going through the photo book before bed. But this is Daniel Robitaille.
But now, would he wake up and does he pull a Terminator 2 and get all the glass go back together when it's his name?
Back?
I don't know. Like we don't know.
But they never made a third one, so we never got to see how he got revived. But
I still think a prequel could have been good.
Of this, yeah. But yeah, so that was Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. Jamie, before we get your opinion on the movie, one thing that we did a few times, and I always just oh man, what should we do? But how about what's in the box office when this came out? This premiered March 17th. So this came out on St. Paddy's Day. And it opened number 2. What do you think the number 1 movie at the time was?
What year?
1995, March 17th. Movie that crushed. Oh my God, dude. Second week in the box office.
1995. Titanic.
About a monkey.
Oh.
No. There's a monkey in it.
A monkey? Monkey Shine.
No, but a monkey that had diseases.
Oh, Outbreak?
Yep.
Really?
Outbreak did great, dude. 18 million first week, 10 million second week. Candyman opened to 6 million. for opening week, which isn't bad. Not even a ton of theaters. The other movies on there, I'm not going to like go through and have you guess all of them, but so we have Man of the House. That's a Tim Allen movie. Bye Bye Love opened that week. Losing Isaiah opened that week. I don't remember that.
That's
but then we get
that's Halle Berry. She's
Losing Isaiah. Oh yeah,
I think it's about I think Mike was it Diane Keaton or one of them. Like she had the baby, her baby, but she wanted him back. Yeah.
Okay. So the other movies that are in here, these are actually pretty interesting. So you get Brady Bunch movie. It's like his third week. That movie total grossed $40 million up until that point. Pulp Fiction, it's 7th week in the box office, finished at 7th. That's at $91 million. Forrest Gump did $314, and that was only in the theaters for 2 months. And then another one that's funny on there on the bottom, you have Street Fighter and you have Shawshank came out 3 months before. Shawshank at that point, again, that movie did not do good in the movies.
Well, so you had Shawshank, Pulp Fiction, and Forrest Gump all out at the same time?
Well, Forrest Gump was in the theaters for a while.
No, but it was still in the theater. Like I looked
still in a lot of theaters too. Like Forrest Gump was still over in 1,100 theaters.
No, but look at those three powerhouse movies. I look now like I can never find one movie that I'm like, you know what, I want to go see. And if there is one movie, there's only one movie. Like it's never like a tough choice of like, you know what do you want to see this weekend? I don't know. It's either this one or this one. Like imagine those three. Like they don't do powerhouse movies anymore. Like that.
And Shawshank at this point, it's crazy it was in the theaters because it only was in the theaters for 3 months, 23 million total gross.
That's insane.
That movie got big because of TNT.
No, but like how can like word of mouth not like pick that movie up? I mean, that's a top 20 movie easily, you know, of all time, you know, so
pretty wild. And then you ever hear a movie called Muriel's Wedding?
Yes.
So that movie was pretty wild. This is its 16th week in the box office. It was only in 41 theaters, but
I think that's Molly Ringwald.
Somehow it did 576,000 in 1 week. Its total at that point, being in the theaters for 4 months, was $1 million.
You throw a wedding wedding in a title, all the women are going to be going to it.
I know, but that movie was 16 weeks in.
That's crazy.
And then it did good.
That's crazy.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Good word of mouth. Maybe something was going on. So, Jamie, Candyman 2, Farewell of the Flesh. Would you recommend somebody to check out this Nolan's horror?
You know what? Because there's only 2, I would say yes. You know, I don't think it's a great movie. But I mean, if you see the first one, you know, it's tough because this really has nothing to do with the first movie. It's almost like a standalone movie. It's completely different. It's, you know, gives you more backstory. And again, maybe because more of the backstory I'd watch. There's a lot of unanswered questions. But I think because there's only 2. Now, if there was like 3 of them and a third one was better, I would say skip this one maybe. But I think just for backstory purposes, I think it's worth watching. I wish I wish there was more backstory to the movie.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Again, we talked about it. Like, it's only the second movie, and you're in a whole new setting. So it's like, oh, now we have to kind of explain a little bit of the lore of like, hey, why this new place is working. But no, I definitely recommend it. For me, it was nostalgia. Like I talked about that. I had this at a young age. But again, you said it. He's like one of those horror icons, and it's wild because it's 2 films.
Yeah,
it's not like that. Like Texas Chainsaw for a little while, he had that kind of lore because it was like 3 movies over 17 years.
No, I disagree.
It's 2 movies in 3 years, and
I think with Texas Chainsaw, I disagree. I think he had the lore right away because it came out.
No. I'm saying the staying power.
Staying power.
For a movie to have one slasher.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 films, it's very weird for it to be. In that upper. Even Texas Chainsaw Massacre, nobody mentions that. When you say the Mount Rushmore slashers.
Yeah, but you know what though? I don't know about that. I think if listen, can you name more than 5? You know, like I mean, like if you're gonna name 5 or
Chucky, Leprechaun.
Leprechaun is not in the mix.
Freddy, Jason, Michael.
Right. Leatherface is always in pictures, in the videos. It's always Leatherface. He's always in there.
Is he behind you? Is he on there?
He might be somewhere. Michael Myers. I got the Nun here. You know what? There's no Leatherface.
See? Well, that's wild.
I don't even see Jason.
You get a balloon.
Is Jason here?
You get Georgie on there.
Is Jason here? I don't even see Jason. So there you go.
Return it.
There's no Jason. There's Michael Myers, but no
It's
Jason.
Scream. Yeah.
So yeah.
Pretty good. But no, it's definitely, I would say definitely check it out. But so next up, there's a few movies when we started this podcast that were like ones that were like the white whale of like, man, of those sequels that just because they took this leap, they tried something that was so different. They had like these wild Easter eggs in it. And we've covered a bunch of them since we started. Like Death Wish 3 was an early one. For me, like Weekend at Bernie's too. Like so many that we talked about over the years, but one that we have coming up, I can't believe it. Like when Jamie reached out and said, "Oh man, I got this cool special effects guy. His name is Mike Spatola," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, man!" And I find out he's from Jersey. He worked on Terminator 2, Leviathan. He had cool stories about working with K&B and Howard Berger on Bride of Reanimator. He worked on Tales from the Crypt. Just some really neat stories about working on his first credit was Return of the Living Dead. So it was very cool, the stories that Mike's had. And being a Jersey guy was pretty neat. But the one that he worked on that I was very happy to see is a little film that...
Los Angeles, 1997. It's the hottest summer on record. Pollution is choking the city.
Which we just felt last week, right? How hot it was?
As bad as things are, they're about to get worse. Much worse.
So we're talking Predator 2, and I skipped over something at the end of it, but...
He's in town with a few
How long has the podcast been around?
And a Thanksgiving movie, huh?
How long has the pod? Have we had this podcast?
7 and almost 7.5 years.
You've been wanting to do Predator, I think, since like year 2. Like it's been mentioned.
Not even from the beginning.
Yeah.
That was one that I had that IMDb account.
You've mentioned multiple times.
I can search in my email right now of Predator 2. How many people I reached out to that it just didn't work out? And
same with me.
Yeah,
I've been trying. I've tried multiple times. So when I found him, it was definitely got lucky.
Yeah, because even when you're like, oh, Terminator 2, this would be awesome, which is going to be great. We'll do it down the road. But when I saw this, and I even said it to Mike in the interview, I'm like, we do hall passes every so often if there's specific movies that we want to cover, time of year, a new sequel's coming out. Let's, get out there with one of the old ones. But with this one, I was like, really like, man, it's got to be like legit. And it worked out. And he had some great stories. One of his good buddies, he tells a good story about it in the interview. Was the one that put the alien in the background in the one scene. Mike, one of his big things was working on all the different other Predators. So yeah, pretty wild, man. I cannot wait to talk about it. Just the cast is great. And you took a guy in Danny Glover that the world knew as a cop. Like that is what you looked at. Oh, that's Murtaugh. And to see him they basically were like, let's have Lethal Weapon and combine it with a Predator movie. And it's very cool, the crossover. And I hope it holds up. I watched it like 5-6 years ago, which would have been a while since I saw it for the first time. But do you remember this one?
I do. I mean, bits and pieces. I saw it a long time ago. But, to add to you what you're saying about Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon is a Mel Gibson movie. Right, Danny Glover is the side guy.
He's
his
a
partner.
straight man, yeah.
But so to see him in the leading role, was cool. For him to get his due. And I do remember bits and pieces, not a lot of it though. So this would be but I know. I mean, we've talked about. I mean, this is definitely not better than the first one, but it's a sequel that is still if this was the first movie, and not having the other one, this would have been great, kind of thing. So it's a great sequel. I'm finally looking forward to having a good movie.
Great, dude. The cast: Maria Conchita Alonso. You had Bill Paxton. So you had like all of the people that were in the action movies of the 80s. It was like a super team or like super friends. Like oh, Avengers Unite, and it's like all these cool, great character actors. So that'd be a lot of fun. So yeah. So next week we get a Jersey guy, Mike Spatola. His journey was really cool about how he got into the business. And just anytime you hear about a Jersey guy venturing off and making it big, it was really cool. So yeah, so don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast. Follow us on all social media at Sequels Only. And don't forget to check out our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Good night, guys. I love everybody. Is it all?